this is also something that's really tough to swallow for most Michigan fans too. After, like you said, week one of Joe Milton, Michigan thought they had found the guy. They had finally had this quarterback that was talented enough to take them to the next level. And now after just 4 games, it seems like that honeymoon is over. And so Michigan now has a decision to make. Cade McNamara came out, went 4 for 4, had a great touchdown drive, and threw some really good balls. And so I think that really spoke to the team, to the coaching staff, and everything else. The one thing I definitely noticed as well after McNamara had that touchdown throw was the team was very excited, jumping around, congratulating him. It seemed like they all were so pumped for him to come in and show out. And I don't want to say that the team is not behind Milton, but they just seem to show something different there for McNamara, which actually is interesting because I thought that Shea Patterson did not have the team behind him in the past. And now I thought Joe Milton would have some of these receivers and running backs and people on the offense that were more behind their quarterback. So it was interesting to see them really show out for Cade McNamara after that. But yeah, Joe Milton, I believe his passer rating was somewhere in the 60s on Saturday, which is very poor. He threw a terrible interception in the first quarter. Obviously he had 2 in the first quarter, but one of them was essentially directly to the linebacker. And so he obviously is not comfortable back there. And I wonder where that comes from. In week 1, he looked about as comfortable as you can be. But I think that this offensive line has really taken a toll on him. He's gotten pressure on him all the time. He doesn't have time to throw the ball. But it's interesting. It's tough to see that this happening so quickly for Michigan fans, I'm sure, out there who thought that he would be the next savior. There's always a savior coming at Michigan, but none of them seem to have panned out. But another stat that jumped out to me regarding his passer rating on Saturday was he was at a 65. Shea Patterson never had a passer rating below 95 at Michigan. So the people that were ready to bench Shea in the past 2 years and, thought that there was better out there, it doesn't seem like there was.
Yeah, so by looking at Joe Milton's numbers and the performance on the field versus what Cade McNamara could possibly bring, it sounds like you're in favor of the open competition. You're good with that.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I think at this point now, if you're Michigan, you're 100% playing for 2021. And so this season is lost. It's trying to get these guys ready to play in 2021. And it doesn't seem to me like Joe Milton is the guy. Can he be? Yes, he's incredibly talented. If he honestly just reduces the mistakes, hits some of those deep balls, he is a very good quarterback. I also think that this offense under the play calling of Josh Gaddis has not had an identity. So it's very difficult for him to get into a rhythm. And without we've seen this in offenses across the nation as well. Without a run game, it's very hard to put everything on the shoulders of the quarterback. And so I feel that Joe Milton has felt that he's had to do it pretty much all by himself if they're going to succeed on the offensive side of the ball, because that running game has been pretty poor throughout the season this year. But I don't see why you don't at least get Cade McNamara reps, see what he can do. You never know. If he plays like he did in that first drive on Saturday, then why not go with him? If these guys are going to be behind him, I think that it's time. Jim Harbaugh has always been a guy that is 100% behind his quarterback. Even when Shea Patterson was not playing his best football, he definitely had him in every press conference saying, yes, Shea is our guy. I back him 100%. He is going to be the quarterback going forward. So I think it's a step in the right direction for Jim Harbaugh to at least open his eyes a little bit, put some pressure on Joe Milton and say, hey, if you can't get the job done, we've got other guys here who can. So it's a thing that, we've seen it with Nick Saban, with Jalen Hurts and Tua. We've seen it at other places where if things don't go well, the head coach has high standards for the quarterback play. And finally, from Michigan and from Jim Harbaugh, we're now seeing him actually put that to reality and say, you know what, if you can't get it done here, we'll find somebody who can.
Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. We got Justin Rowe on the line from his podcast, Stadium in Maine. Follow Justin, follow the podcast. You get a slice of what Justin delivers on Michigan football content here, but go for the deep dive there. Of course, like, comment, share the videos on social media, subscribe here, hit that bell for the notifications. We talk college football every day. Best discussion, debate, and analysis is our aim. I know the game got away from them quickly, so the run pass distribution is going to be out of whack, but Hassan Haskins with 1 carry, did he get hurt?
He was not injured. He was not injured. And as far as I know, and I haven't seen anything out there that has mentioned that he had an injury, which is, to me, it's bananas. The fact that he has been Michigan's most consistent running back since halfway through 2019, and for him to get 1 carry in a game that was out of control from the first couple snaps of the football, I don't see why you're not trying to use your best players on the field. And so Blake Corum, the freshman, had 7 carries. Charbonnet had 3, I believe. And so I am not a fan of where Josh Gaddis is right now with this running back rotation. He's got 4 guys that are rotating through, and none of them can get in a rhythm. I believe we've talked about this in the past weeks, where it's just you can't possibly get into a rhythm if you're sitting on the sideline for most of the game. And versus Indiana, Hassan Haskins didn't have his first touch until the second quarter. So if I'm one of these running backs or multiple of them, I'd be probably looking elsewhere right now in the transfer portal to see who's going to give me snaps, because I believe that Hassan Haskins, he's averaging 8 yards per carry this season, but he only has 21 carries or 24 carries on the whole year in 4 games. And so how many running backs across the country had more than 24 carries on Saturday? So I think it's very frustrating probably for these running backs to say, hey, I can carry the load here. Why aren't you giving it to me? And so it's I don't know. Can you be too deep at running back? It's kind of a crazy thought here with how Michigan's talent level or Michigan has not produced these guys. And all of a sudden you've got too many guys there. But I think Gaddis is a little bit lost. Nothing's been working for them, so he doesn't know what to do. He's just trying, just about everything to see if anything can work, and it's not providing an opportunity for anybody to really break out and be a leader in this on this offense.
And actually, more so than in any other season, we can trust the player stats because they're all conference games. So it's not like somebody's ringing up 9 yards a carry against FCS in Group of 5, and then they come into conference play at 3.5 yards per carry. They're all conference games. It's pretty much the same.